tutor, no leave, Tobago educators acting with no pay. Former minority leader Morris joins real estate agency, and all systems go for SEA 2026. Good evening, I am Renessa Ortiz and you're locked into Tobago Updates television news for Tuesday, 24th March 2026. Now to our top story. Tobago's educators are hitting a breaking point as a bureaucratic paper trail continues to stall critical leave benefits and career advancements. While teachers in Trinidad have begun receiving updated salary scales this month, their counterparts in the sister isles say they are being left in a state of limbo. Today, Joel Green George reports on the mounting frustration within the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association as a massive backlog of leave applications remain unaddressed.
Frustration is boiling over for Tobago teachers. The Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association is sounding the alarm over a cumbersome leave classification process they say is stuck in the dark ages. Currently, teachers who exceed their 14-day sick leave entitlement must have their extended leave classified by the Ministry of Education in Trinidad. Tutor Tobago officer Dion Rodriguez says the physical movement of paper between islands is failing our educators.
For some process. Just picture in your mind that a leave application has to leave Tobago, travel all the way to Port of Spain, and we don't know what is going to be happening to the leave classification or as it travels over the seas. As we have seen, things have been lost, etc. Reach to Trinidad and wait months.
The failure is more than just paperwork. Without classification, teachers lose out on annual increments. For those ready to hang up the chalk, it means a total halt on pension and retirement benefits. Rodriguez reveals a staggering discovery. Between 200 and 300 applications were recently returned to Tobago in a box, unprocessed.
Approximately between 200 to 300 applications were packed in a box and returned to Tobago without being classified. So right now in this space, Tobago teachers are in limbo.
Adding to the administrative strain is a widespread shortage of appointed leadership. Across the island, from Charlottesville to Bonaccord, senior teachers are performing duties of principals without the official appointment or the pay to match.
They have to engage in doing all that is required as a principal, but they are not being remunerated for it, and they are not given that level of comfort. It's a level of frustration on the part of these principals.
Tutor is scheduled to meet with the Teaching Service Commission this Thursday, March 26th, to demand immediate authorization for Tobago to classify its own leave. Until then, the union warns that the bread and butter issues of Tobago's teachers remain under threat. I'm Joel Green George for Tobago Updates Television News.
A familiar face in Tobago's political sphere is moving into the property market. Former minority leader and assembly member for Darrell Spring Wim, Kelvon Morris, has officially joined the private sector as a real estate agent. Joel Green George has the story.
After years of debating policy in the Assembly legislature, Kelvon Morris is now closing deals on the open market. The former PNM minority leader confirmed today he has joined Resplendent Realty, a prominent agency based in Trinidad. The move follows the recent THA elections where Morris says he took the time to finalize his professional credentials.
Following the elections, I was successful in my certification, so much so that I was immediately recruited, by a prominent agency in Trinidad. And therefore, it is something that I intend to do as a part-time career.
Morris isn't the only one looking for a fresh start in the sector. Recent data from the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago shows a steady demand for residential mortgages, with the real estate and construction sectors contributing roughly 5% to the national GDP. While the shift from politics to property might seem like a major change, Morris insists this path has been in the works for a long time.
I don't see it as a career pivot per se, but it something I've always had a passion for in terms of real estate management and property development.
Despite the new business venture, Morris isn't stepping away from the public eye. He remains a key figure in the PNM's internal restructuring following their recent electoral losses.
But obviously, I continue to be very much interested in the political fortunes of the People's National Movement as we seek to rebuild the party in Tobago. And I am always very much interested in Tobago's development.
Morris said he will balance his real estate portfolio with his ongoing work in event promotion and community service in the WIM area. Jewel Green George, Tobago Updates Television News.
More than 1,000 students in Tobago are entered into a final countdown today as they prepare to sit the 2026 secondary entrance assessment. Following a media briefing held by the Division of Education, Skills and Innovation, officials are declaring that all logistics are in place for Thursday's high-stakes exam. Here's more in this report from Jewel Green George.
It is a rite of passage that brings a mix of nerves and hope to households across the island. Thursday morning, 1,005 students will enter 41 examination centers to determine their secondary school placements. The cohort consists of 508 boys, 497 girls. Among them are 49 private candidates and 20 students granted special concessions to ensure equitable testing conditions. Secretary of Education, Assemblymember Orlando Kerr, confirms that from security to transportation, the infrastructure is ready.
Let me indicate upfront that everything so far is ready. Everything has been going smoothly and all the necessary preparations and so on are in place.
Despite the technical readiness, the Secretary addressed the elephant in the room, the immense pressure placed on 11 and 12-year-olds. He urged parents to pivot away from the obsession with prestige schools.
What I would want to say to parents is that do not add undue pressure to the children. Ask the children to go out and do their best, but do not put them under, undue pressure. This is already a pressurized situation.
The briefing also touched on recent controversies surrounding the 2025 results ranking. School Supervisor Philip Rushford clarified that while rankings can change due to the official query process, the division's focus is shifting toward a whole school approach. This strategy prioritizes raising the collective performance of all students above the national mean of 200, rather than highlighting a few at the top. Looking ahead, the division is also preparing for those who may miss Thursday's sitting.
And that would occur if a student is absent for some reason on the actual examination day, or if they may have been registered for the exam and for some reason was unable to be there, then they may be offered the opportunity to do the supplemental examination.
That makeup exam is scheduled for May 8th. For now, schools dismissed early today to allow for final security sweeps. Jewel Green George, Tobago Updates Television News.
Up next, students shine in Smart Money Talks competition.
In a world where our health defines our future and the Caribbean stands on the front lines of climate change, rising NCDs and global challenges, knowledge becomes our greatest defense. Caribbean Medical TV is your guide on the journey to wellness and insight, featuring our region's own doctors, nurses, climate specialists and medical institutions. From physical well-being to the emotional and mental balance we all deserve. Caribbean Medical TV empowers you because building a healthier future isn't just a regional goal, it's a global responsibility. In the Caribbean, vitality isn't just a goal, it's a way of living. Connect with the region through knowledge, hope and the power of Caribbean resilience on Caribbean Medical TV, where awareness becomes power. Join the conversation, join the movement. Be viewing Season 4 of Caribbean Medical TV right here on this station.
Hop, hop, hip hooray, Easter money's on its way. Some bunnies getting a great rate today. Looking for a rate that's bright and sunny? Hop on down for some Easter money. 1% interest through and through, because we see you at BCU. Apply for a 1% Easter loan and let's hatch something great together. Hop, hop, hip hooray, Easter money's on its way.
Trinidad, Tobago and abroad, your chance to drive away in a brand new SUV is still on. The BHS Centennial Raffle has been extended to Thursday 30th April 2026. And that's not all. Prizes include travel for two to Miami and Curacao, Tobago staycation, iPhones, computers, smart TVs and more. Tickets still only $100. Get yours at selected outlets or at islandetickets.com. Details at bishopstobago100.com/raffle.
We get ready as the Conby Mount Pleasant Community Council brings to you their Easter Sport and Family Day. On Monday, 6th April, Easter Monday, we transform the Mount Pleasant recreational grounds. We kick off with track and field events, novelty races, Easter bonnet competition, the Greasy Pole Challenge, and the highly anticipated William Woods Premier Goat Racing Classic. Huge prizes to be won, and we can't forget the Kids Corner with rides and bouncy castles. At 7 p.m., it's an after party and a stage show by popular artists and DJs. Grounds tickets cost $60 for adults and $30 for kids 5 to 12 years. Pavilion tickets cost $100 and children under 5 years are free. So register early for races. Check out Conby Mount Pleasant Community Council on Facebook. 474-4661. 474-4661 for more details. Live performance by the 2026 National Calypso Monarch Queen, Terry Lyons.
I need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing.
John's Bar on the Boulevard presents the Tobago Vibes Festival. 1 weekend, 4 free events. That's right, 4 nights of freeness at John's Bar. Thursday, April 2nd, we start off with the conscious vibes at I Love Reggae, featuring international reggae superstar Ross Shiloh.
On to Zion we go, and I can't move slow, no.
Shiloh.
Are you satisfied? Wipe the tears from your eyes.
Also featuring TNT's very own Kevin Carter and Garden Knight, alongside your favorite reggae-matic DJs. Easter weekend on the Esplanade. It's the safe and secure, admission-free, first annual Tobago Vibes Festival. See social media for details. Keywords Tobago Vibes Festival. I Love Reggae. Powered by John's Bar on the Boulevard.
People, the 4th and 5th of April, it's all about Arise. Tobago, we coming. Well, let's see the video of jumping out of planes for this one. Parachuting down to the Scarborough Amphitheater. Yes, this is the place to be. Along with other friends and them, and even the ones from Tobago too. Big up all yourself. We're going to have a great time in Jesus' name. Arise!
Arise! Blissful melodies come from heaven, so his praise are given to the King that given it.
Thank you for staying with us. Financial literacy took center stage as students showcased creativity and practical money skills through the division's Smart Money Talks video competition. The initiative, held in observance of Global Money Week, encouraged participants to translate complex financial concepts into relatable real-life lessons, highlighting the importance of smart decision-making among today's youth. Here are the details.
Secretary of Finance, Trade and the Economy, Petolan Roberts, highlighted that Global Money Week, spearheaded by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, marked its 14th year. She noted the initiative reaches over 40 million participants worldwide, promoting practical financial knowledge beyond textbooks and encouraging responsible money management.
The Global Money Week is an initiative of the OECD, which is the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, and this is the 14th edition. So you are not doing this alone. You, as well as 14 million people across the globe, are being recognized and celebrating Global Money Week. And this is designed to equip you with something that no classroom textbook can fully teach, and as the administrator did indicate, and the wisdom to manage money well.
Administrator Melissa James Guy emphasized that financial literacy, often seen as complex, was made practical and relatable through student videos. She noted they demonstrated smart, everyday money choices and their long-term impact using humor, creativity, and authenticity to break down difficult financial concepts into clear real-life lessons.
Financial literacy, which can sometimes maybe feel abstract or technical, becomes real. It becomes relatable. It becomes your lived experience. Through your videos, you showed me, you showed us what smart money moves look like in everyday life. How choices today shape opportunities tomorrow. You use humor, you use creativity, your authenticity to translate complex financial principles into lessons.
The division launched the Smart Money Talks video competition for secondary school students, with Signal's Secondary 6 formers securing first place. Students admitted balancing exams and SBAs made the project challenging, but said their dedication, teamwork, and sacrifices ultimately paid off, earning them top honors and valuable real-world experience.
I feel hopeful for the future because it shows that even if you are so busy and so occupied with life, if you set aside just a small amount of time to do something meaningful, it would bring rewards. So I just feel inspired and motivated to continue, even though I have so many other challenges.
The initiative underscored the importance of equipping young people with practical financial skills early, blending education with creativity. Organizers praised the students' commitment and innovation, noting that programs like Smart Money Talks continue to inspire responsible decision-making and prepare youth to navigate real-world financial challenges with confidence. This is Aaliyah Balgobin reporting for Tobago Update Television News.
Prime Minister and Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party leader Gaston Brown has announced that general elections will be called within 90 days. He made the announcement last Saturday evening, although the current term was not set to end until 2028. The opposition United Progressive Party calls the early vote a sign of government weakness, while critics say the Prime Minister is trying to avoid upcoming economic challenges. Brown is seeking a third term amidst reported internal strife. He and other senior party officers are unopposed ahead of the party's convention on April 12th, which have been approved by acclamation. Voters must now prepare for a short and intense campaign season, as this election will decide all 17 seats in the House of Representatives. Although the Governor-General is expected to dissolve Parliament shortly to finalize the timeline, registration offices are reportedly already seeing an increase in activity as citizens check their status. Stay tuned for more updates on this developing regional story. Last Saturday evening, the Port Mall car park came alive with an exciting amateur boxing showdown as teams from Trinidad and Tobago faced off in a spirited display of talent and determination. The event drew a lively crowd with supporters cheering on both sides in a night filled with energy, competition, and sportsmanship. Here are the details.
Kurtzon Manswell, head coach of Knockout Boxing Club, explained that boxing is often misunderstood as a violent sport. He emphasized that the discipline teaches strategy and self-control. Manswell explains life can be challenging and anyone can fight, but boxing channels that energy into something positive, constructive, and purposeful. The match that was held helps preserve the integrity of the sport by taking place in a controlled and safe environment.
Right, so boxing, most people look at it as a violent sport because it's a contact sport. But no, when you check all the disciplines, our motto in boxing is we teach the science, not the violence. Life on itself is violent. You don't really teach anybody to fight. Everybody can fight. Just the way that you harness this energy into something positive and worthwhile.
Manswell highlighted that natural talent is found throughout Tobago. He explained that the club's plan is to scout and develop local athletes, refining their skills to reach their full potential with the goal of producing future stars akin to Claude Noel and Mike Tyson.
So we have the two levels of the sport, being athletes or boxers from Tobago. And being around Tobago and going around, what should I say, scouting. Tobago have great talent where they have it natural. Where you have to work in Trinidad for, Tobagonians have it just walking around. So this is my whole plan because I would have seen what is taking place in Tobago and how they are. And this is what we are working on to produce more Claude Noel, more Mike Tysons, because they have it natural.
He remains committed to developing Tobago's homegrown boxing talent, emphasizing discipline, skill, and strategic training by identifying natural ability across the island and guiding athletes with proper coaching. He aims to transform raw potential into professional excellence, inspiring a new generation of boxers capable of achieving national and international success. This is Aliyah Balgobin reporting for Tobago Updates Television News.
The news will continue in a moment, but why wait? You can follow every story, every update all the time. Join the conversation and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Tobago Updates. Don't miss a beat, we'll be right back.
Trinidad, Tobago, and abroad, your chance to drive away in a brand new SUV is still on. The BHS Centennial Raffle has been extended to Thursday, 30th April 2026. And that's not all. Prizes include travel for two to Miami and Curacao, Tobago staycation, iPhones, computers, smart TVs, and more. Tickets still only $100. Get yours at selected outlets or at islandetickets.com. Details at bishopstobago100.com/raffle.
And on this Easter weekend, I'm going to be there for Arise at our beautiful twin Isle of Tobago. So looking forward to seeing you there. And remember, I fed up by the captivity, fed up by the lockdown. I find it's time to lose bear. The imprisonment got to stop now. Critical and crucial. See you there.
Arise!
Baby, when you whine on me. Somebody get the phone, I get wet.
John's Bar on the Boulevard presents the Tobago Vibes Festival. 1 weekend, 4 free events. That's right, 4 nights of freeness at John's Bar. Thursday, April 2nd, we start off with the Conscious Vibes at I Love Reggae, featuring international reggae superstar Ross Shiloh.
On to Zion we go. I can't move slow, no.
Shiloh.
Are you satisfied? Wipe the tears from your eyes.
Also featuring TNT's very own Kevin Carter and Garden Night, alongside your favorite reggae-matic DJs. Easter weekend on the Esplanade. It's the safe and secure, admission-free, first annual Tobago Vibes Festival. See social media for details. Keywords Tobago Vibes Festival. I love reggae. Powered by Nejon's Bar on the Boulevard.
We get ready as the Conby Mount Pleasant Community Council brings to you the Easter Sport and Family Day. On Monday, 6th April, Easter Monday, we transform the Mount Pleasant recreational grounds. We kick off with track and field events, novelty races, Easter bonnet competition, the Greasy Pole Challenge, and the highly anticipated William Woods Premier Goat Racing Classic. Huge prizes to be won, and we can't forget the Kids Corner with rides and bouncy castles. At 7 p.m., it's an after party and a stage show by popular artists and DJs. Grounds tickets cost $60 for adults and $30 for kids 5 to 12 years. Pavilion tickets cost $100 and children under 5 years are free. So register early for races. Check out Conby Mount Pleasant Community Council on Facebook. 474-4661. 474-4661 for more details. Live performance by the 2026 National Calypso Monarch Queen, Terry Lyons.
Need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing.
Welcome back. Tobago's top young athletes are entering the final stretch of preparation for the 2026 Carifta Games in Grenada. But while their regional rivals train on world-class surfaces, local stars are navigating broken tracks and a lack of proper facilities. With the Games just 11 days away, Athletics Tobago president is pressing for urgency in completing the solution promised by central government. Here's more from Jewel Green George.
The road to the 53rd Carifta Games is paved with grass and grit for 16 of Tobago's finest. These athletes are part of a 74-member national squad heading to Karani James Athletics Stadium in Grenada next week. However, back home in Bacalet, the Dwight York Stadium remains a source of frustration. The facility is currently unusable for high-speed training.
We have been presented with a number of challenges, in that one of them being the Dwight York Stadium's unavailability due to matters beyond our control. And one of those is that the stadium, the surface, the running surface, or the Mondo track, needs repair.
The state of the track has forced a makeshift migration. Clubs have access to the Shore Park Recreation Grounds as well as the track in Bell Garden. While community space is accessible, it lacks the specialized synthetic surface required for Olympic-level sprinting and technical field events.
One of the things that has happened in terms of intervention is that the NCAs, the National Body for Track and Field, has organized training sessions during the week and possibly on weekends for the Tobago-based athletes, and they have been making their way to Trinidad over the various weekends.
This weekly commute across the waters adds physical and financial strain to an already grueling schedule. Despite the hurdles, there is a glimmer of hope. Starting today, the 115th ISSA Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Athletics Championships, better known as Champs, kicks off in Jamaica. Several Tobago-born standouts attending school there will be in the spotlight.
And a number of Tobago athletes who actually have been chosen on the Trinidad and Tobago Carifta team would be featured, like Alex Henry, Zaya Tobias, Jafari Shaw. They are all attending school in Jamaica. So this week we can also have a precursor as to some of the things that we can expect.
Even though the commitment of Minister Watts of the Ministry of Sports to the Division of Youth Empowerment and Sports to finish the Dwight York Stadium will come too late for Tobago's 54th Carifta competitors, Secretary Dinoon reiterated on March 15th that promise from central government.
Minister of Sport, Mr. Watt, who has given his commitment to ensuring that the stadium would be refurbished in the shortest possible time. One of the issues has to do with the Mondo. We had to wait until the dry season to have the Mondo put down. And so now that we have entered the dry season, the Mondo will be replaced in short order. And so you can look forward to having the Dwight York Stadium done and accessible to the athletes of Tobago sooner rather than.
The national contingent departs for Grenada next week Thursday, April 2nd, and returns on April 7th. Whether the local facilities will be ready for the next generation remains to be seen. Jubal Green George, Tobago Updates Television News.
The TFA Premier Division continued with an action-packed doubleheader that had fans on the edge of their seats. In the opening match, Gold City FC faced off against Gold Eagles FC in a clash that showcased tactical precision, skillful play, and shared dominance. From the kickoff, Gold City asserted control over the field, dictating the pace and keeping Gold Eagles on the defensive. Their relentless pressure paid off early, with the first goal coming within the opening 15 minutes. Momentum firmly on their side, Gold City maintained sharp passing, fluid movement, and clinical finishing, netting 3 more goals to seal a commanding 4-0 victory. Gold Eagles struggled to find cohesion and create clear scoring opportunities, leaving them frustrated as the first half ended with a significant deficit. Fans erupted with excitement as Gold City's players celebrated each goal, highlighting the team's cohesion and confidence. The victory not only boosts Gold City's standing in the Premier Division, but also sends a clear message to their competitors. They are a force to be reckoned with this season. With the crowd buzzing, anticipation now turns to the second match of the doubleheader, where another intense showdown is expected to cap off an exhilarating evening of football in Tobago. The General Contractors Association of Tobago has raised concerns over the awarding of major housing contracts to Trinidad-based firms for the Riseland Housing Development and Adventure Housing Development Phase 3 projects, collectively valued at approximately $280 million and expected to deliver around 250 homes. Here are the details.
The General Contractors Association of Tobago, GCAT, has acknowledged public concern over the awarding of 2 major housing contracts to Trinidad-based firms, reportedly under the previous Housing Secretary. GCAT has engaged with Chief Secretary Farley Chavez Augustine and Secretary of Housing Ricky Jofi to explore ways of increasing opportunities for Tobago-based contractors in future state housing programs. Despite these discussions, General Contractors Association of Tobago criticized the procurement approach, suggesting the projects could have been divided into smaller phases to allow greater local participation. The association highlighted that past housing initiatives often use this model, generating wider economic benefits through job creation and business engagement. The General Contractors Association of Tobago emphasized that Tobago has the technical expertise and workforce to manage large developments and questioned why local inclusion was not prioritized. The Division of Housing, Settlements and Public Utilities defended the process, noting it adhered to Public Procurement and Disposal of Public Property Act, ensuring transparency, fairness and value for money. Adventure Phase 3 began with a publicly advertised expression of interest attracting local and Trinidad-based contractors, though only 2 proposals were submitted. The Riseland project followed a nationwide request for proposals with joint venture provisions allowing collaboration. While critical of the outcome, GCAT expressed willingness to work with the Tobago House of Assembly to foster a more inclusive and equitable procurement framework for future housing projects. This is Alia Balgobin reporting for Tobago Updates Television News.
The weather report when we return.
We get ready as the Conby Mount Pleasant Community Council brings to you their Easter Sport and Family Day. On Monday, 6th April, Easter Monday, we transform the Mount Pleasant Recreational Grounds. We kick off with track and field events, novelty races, Easter bonnet competition, the Greasy Pole Challenge, and the highly anticipated William Woods Premier Goat Racing Classic. Huge prizes to be won, and we can't forget the Kids Corner with rides and bouncy castles. At 7 p.m., it's an after party and a stage show by popular artists and DJs. Grounds tickets cost $60 for adults and $30 for kids 5 to 12 years. Pavilion tickets cost $100 and children under 5 years are free. So register early for races. Check out Conby Mount Pleasant Community Council on Facebook. 474-4661. 474-4661 for more details. Live performance by the 2026 National Calypso Monarch Queen, Terry Lyons.
Need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing.
Trinidad, Tobago, and abroad. Your chance to drive away in a brand new SUV is still on. The BHS Centennial Raffle has been extended to Thursday, 30th April 2026. And that's not all. Prizes include travel for two to Miami and Curacao, Tobago staycation, iPhones, computers, smart TVs, and more. Tickets still only $100. Get yours at selected outlets or at islandetickets.com. Details at bishopstobago100.com/raffle.
Baby, when you whine on me.
Somebody get the phone, go to the telephone.
I get wet. I get wet. I get wet. I'm looking all through the party. I hope I find you there.
John's Bar on the Boulevard presents the Tobago Vibes Festival. 1 weekend, 4 free events. That's right, 4 nights of freeness at John's Bar. Thursday, April 2nd, we start off with the Conscious Vibes at I Love Reggae, featuring international reggae superstar Ross Shiloh.
On to Zion we go. I can't move slow, no.
Shiloh.
Are you satisfied? Wipe the tears from your eyes.
Also featuring TNT's very own Kevin Carter and Garden Knight, alongside your favorite reggae-matic DJs. Easter weekend on the Esplanade. It's the safe and secure, admission-free, first annual Tobago Vibes Festival. See social media for details. Keywords Tobago Vibes Festival. I Love Reggae. Powered by John's Bar on the Boulevard.
People, the 4th and 5th of April is all about Arise. Tobago, we coming. Well, let's see the video of jumping out of planes for this one. Parachuting down to the Scarborough Amphitheater. Yes, this is the place to be. Along with other friends and them, and even the ones from Tobago too. Big up all yourself. We're going to have a great time in Jesus' name. Arise!
Arise! Blissful melodies come from heaven, so his praise are given to the King that given it.
And his wife joined festivities alongside Minority Leader Kelvon Morris. Tourism Secretary Zorisha Hackett also attended events to honor the religious milestone and observe the end of Ramadan. These local celebrations coincided with a major diplomatic claim from the United States. On Monday, Donald Trump announced that there had been 2 days of productive conversations with Iran. He stated he postponed military strikes on Iranian energy infrastructure for the next 5 days. However, Iranian officials today denied any contact with the U.S. government. They labeled the claims of high-level talks as fake news. Despite the conflicting reports from Washington and Tehran, many in Tobago expressed hopes for global peace. The 5-day window mentioned by Trump remains a point of international focus. We will continue to monitor this developing story. Now for a look at the weather update from the TNT Met office. Tonight will be generally fair with brief isolated showers at times. The minimum temperature is forecast to be around 24 degrees Celsius at Piarco and 25 degrees Celsius at Crown Point. Tomorrow will be generally hot and sunny. There is a risk of a few partly cloudy spells and brisk showers favoring the afternoon. Nighttime will be generally fair and cool. The maximum temperature tomorrow is expected to reach around 31 degrees Celsius at Piarco and 30 degrees Celsius at Crown Point. Seas will be moderate with waves near 2 meters in open waters and below 1 meter in sheltered areas. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 6:07 and sunset at 6:16. And that's all the time we have for tonight's Tobago Updates news. Have a great night and let's recap the headlines. Tutor, no leave, Tobago educators acting with no pay. Former minority leader Morris joins real estate agency. And all systems go for SCA 2026.